Oh. Gee, that was close.
Sorry, no, it's creative art. It's not that.
I don't think
It's creative
that's
art.
how we start the video. We can't.
I don't think it is. That's how it starts.
Let me know when we're live, and I'll just quickly.
We are live now.
We are live. Okay, awesome. I just sort out my followers. Hi guys. Hi Regional Ones fans.
Same. Good evening, everyone.
Hi Maz. How you doing? Ian.
I don't know.
Give it a few minutes. Send 200 stars to see your comment here. What is that?
It's like bits, like money.
Okay, talking to himself. I hope I was in that pen.
You were. You couldn't hear your headphones. Hang on, let me try it again. I'm now live with Regional One.
Regional one. Oh, he just. I thought he was going to keep talking.
He can't hear you.
But it can see me.
Dun. So, who's in? How can I see who's in the chat? Oh wait, if I just log into the
Can't
Facebook
remember.
page of Regional One, and I can see questions as well, can't I?
Maybe that's the game. You never know. You just have to. We could just say anyone's here. Taylor Swift's here in the chat. Hi, Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. And Taylor Swift's popping off again. She's nuts.
Yo, what's up?
Doing well.
Because she's a relatable human being who likes sport ball.
Relatable human being, do sport ball.
Yeah.
Also slightly richer than
True
she's
what
gone
they say.
independent.
Independent, yes, she did. She remade her works. Very clever. Good play.
Yeah. Rory Taylor is here. And also a Mark
Hello.
Wayne. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, good evening. Good evening, both. Good evening, kittens. And there he is.
Can we ban?
That's me.
We need to ban this Ben Francis guy.
Yeah,
He keeps piping up. He keeps piping up.
I got upgrades. I worked out where to put the galaxy light. It looks good over a light switch.
Mods ban him.
I've got.
Can you imagine if we
I've
had
gone plain. I used to have look, check out this back area I've got. Right, it's now plain.
What?
I used to have all my gig T-shirts hung up in the back of my studio. But since getting the cats or the kittens, I can't do it. I don't want to ruin those T-shirts. I had to put them down and just be like, look, I've got
Cats,
to put them away in a
I
drawer.
can't trust you not to ruin my shirt.
I love my cats, but they are dicks.
Do you love your dog?
I haven't got a dog.
Bit of an in reference there. If you know, you know.
He's my best friend. He's so small.
So we're here to talk about Ben's latest single, "I Love My Dog."
We haven't got a dog. It's all a lie.
Oh. Well, that's that. Anyway, good evening, everyone. Hope you're well. I don't know what the date is. It's the 18th. It's the 18th of December, 2023.
Yeah.
1 week till
Good
Christmas,
evening.
apparently.
Can you believe it, guys? Christmas.
Can you
It's
believe
just a week away.
the festive event is en route to us?
No.
It's going to be good. Man, I'm actually looking forward to it this year. I actually have time off this year, so that's going to be nice.
I'm not.
Oh, yeah, you're going to be working, aren't you?
I hate Christmas.
That's not going to work out well for our piss up, is it? It's not going to work out well. I was hoping that we could all meet up over Christmas, over the festive period.
We do need
Have a
an
few
inevitable piss up.
drinky doos. Mm.
We could
Yeah,
meet
no.
up.
The last time we went out as a group of friends and went to the Queens of the Stone Age gig, I believe a little man called Stevie was worse for wear.
Wasn't he just?
He's all right.
He wasn't doing so good.
That's the rock and roll lifestyle, ladies.
We balanced it better for we went to see Don Broco the other day down in Bournemouth. That was pretty good. Right, okay, I want to tell you about that actually, because Don Broco, they were fantastic, but we were a little bit on the tipsy side, and the lead singer of Don Broco came out in a neck brace, and all of us assumed it was a fashion statement until like 3 songs in, he was like, "I broke my neck" or something. We were like, "Oh, that would make sense."
He does climb and stuff, doesn't he, the Don Broco guy? Isn't he? Is he an avid climber, stage climber?
He wasn't obviously for this show because
Yeah.
his neck was fucked. I
He
don't know.
break his
What,
neck?
like sort of what Eddie Vedder sort of Stage climb.
It was like proper, like Lord Percy kind of.
But how did he break his neck?
I don't
From
know.
stage. I swear he does all the
He
stage
didn't tell
climbs.
us. Oh, I remember. We felt so teased by this because he mentioned it and then he didn't tell us how it happened. And it really
It's
bothered us.
It's like I saw Possessed a while back. It was like a death metal band. Didn't know anything about the band. Singer comes out in a wheelchair, right? He'd been in a wheelchair nearly his whole life because he like was part of like an armed robbery when he was at the bank and got like shot or something. And he still carries on gigging. Like he'd been in a wheelchair for like 18 years and just in a death metal band. Just like
Man, that's wild.
fucking legend.
Honestly, in what other time period though would you ever assume that someone wearing a neck brace was doing it for fashion? Do you know what I mean? That's probably not happened before.
I mean, I was thinking about changing up my image, but I think that might be one step too far.
Yeah.
Did it
It'd
look
make the neck
fashionable?
too long. No. Yes,
Wow.
kind of. It did sort of suit him. More than a neck brace would normally suit a man. It did. It didn't look awful, and he made it work with his outfit as well. So it's kind of like,
Oh, maybe that's why. Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty wild. I don't know how that works, but it did make his neck look really long, dude.
Maybe because his neck was broken. Was it?
Well,
Did he say it was broken, or like?
I must admit, I didn't really fully listen. He did. He mentioned that he bust it up in some way, but he didn't tell us how, so we switched off.
None of the answers.
I was desperate to know how, and he never talked about it again. I was really upset. It was a good show, though. Anyway, Ben, how are you doing, man?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, doing well, man. Doing well. We haven't seen you in a hot minute. You've been busy. You've been working on some things.
I have been really busy, yeah. I am actually working on my next EP now, which is great. It's going to sound amazing. So, a little bit of a teaser for next year. Yeah, it's going to be good.
Lovely, dude. Well, we went and saw your release show, actually. Me and Aaron went. I was hoping to be on tonight, but we came to see your release show. It was fantastic, man. It really came together for you there, I think.
Yeah, it did. It was a lot of hard work to put it together, and to be fair, it was the first time playing with such a big band. I mean, normally, notoriously, I've gone out and played acoustic solo shows. So to play with a group of 6 other musicians was fantastic. Yeah, it went. I think it went really well. I think as you've said, you've enjoyed it, which was really good. It cost me a bloody fortune, but I enjoyed it. So yeah, it was great. Plus, the 2 support artists that I had in were just phenomenal. So big up to them.
Yeah, man, that was absolutely brilliant, man. It was really good to see you with a full band as well, because it wasn't like you just sort of brought people on who added a bit of instrumentation to it. It felt like a properly organised, really well rehearsed set. There was lots of parts where you bring someone in and then take someone out, and all the songs had, well, there was a reason for the instruments to be there. It wasn't like they'd just been jammed in, is what I'm trying to say.
I was very, very lucky. I had a lot of professional musicians that I was playing with. So yeah, I couldn't have asked for a better team. And I think I put it together well. Maybe I'll do another one next year.
You should. I think you should, dude. Hands down, definitely should. That was fantastic fun.
I've still got some T-shirts to sell, so there's a reason to. So
there you go. Well, it's got to happen then. Yeah, man. So, what was the studio you're working at now again?
I'm working in 2 different places at the moment. I'm working with a producer called Josh Parker down in Wimborne, and he's helping me with my next EP. He also did the previous EP, Foundations, but Foundations Live was done with Tom Joblin over in Mill Farm, over in Sherborne, and he's such a great guy as well. I'm really lucky. I've got such a team around me that I'm working with now. And both of them are really good at different aspects. So I feel really, really lucky just to have both of them on board. So yeah, it means there's going to be some great stuff coming out. It's going to be kind of a split EP, I reckon. With Josh doing a little bit of it, Tom doing another. So I get the best of both worlds, and hopefully that means that you get the best of everything that I have to give. So
absolutely, dude. Have you got not to give too much away, but have you got any rough ideas for dates on that one yet, or are you just going to sort of see how it goes and then plan it out?
The next single will be out. I was going to put it out the end of January, but I think I'm going to put it out on. I think it's Friday, February the 9th will be the next single release.
Nice,
and I'll give you a little hint. It might have something to do slightly with a romance or some kind of thing, because obviously following that we'll have Valentine's Day, so a nice classy release for that.
Fantastic, dude. I want to see you up in a 3-piece suit. I want roses.
And that's just me and you going out for a night, Simon.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Playing your song at the dinner table, actually.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying no. Yeah. Nice, dude. Yeah, so you just put out a new single, right? You just dropped a Christmas song, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I did. I just dropped a cover of Christmas Lights by Coldplay, which is available on all mainstream platforms. Please do go and download it. Please do go listen to it. It's a song to me that means a lot. I've listened to that song for 10 years or maybe more now, since it was released, and it's not the most upbeat of Christmas songs, but it's something that you can really feel. Also, it has a nice connection because my parents put up Christmas lights, and I don't mean just put up Christmas lights. We're not talking one or two. We're talking up, light the garden up, light up the street, and people come from all over, from 3, 4 different counties to come and see them. It was nice to kind of involve that in what I was doing this year. And again, it was just a really nice cover to do.
Yeah, man, that's
yeah.
awesome. Well, I've just dropped a link to that one in the chat, so Callum, if you can take over for a second, I've just got to get the door.
He's got to get the door.
Yeah, anyway.
Has he ordered a takeaway?
Probably. No, he doesn't. We're not really much takeaway heads. Some of us.
No, well, I know Simon likes to treat his body well, like a temple.
You say that, but he does just eat a whole block of cheese, like every night nearly. So I don't know what kind of temple he's trying to keep. So I'm just outing him. And Oreos as well. He's mad about the Oreos.
I mean, he'll watch this on the rerun. It's fine.
But yeah, he loves watching himself back.
Johnny, come. Come on in. I might leave him with you for a bit. Just open the door. Johnny, come.
He's going crazy.
That's his dog, by the way. Just to let you know.
Yeah, not his weird slave he has.
That's what you've got Stevie for. He is quite a talented guitarist, but also he just acts as Regional One's slave. It's because he's the smallest of the beings, a Regional One.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he must be, mustn't he?
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't visualize.
It's not Aaron. He's more gangly. So how's things going with Regional One at the moment? What have you got going on? I see you've just released a new music video.
No, it's a re-upload. We're doing the
Did
thing.
we?
Yeah, we're doing a thing where we have loads of content lying around, which we haven't uploaded to Facebook or other places, so we just upload it to keep people engaged.
Oh, well, that's fantastic. Well, because to see Simon as a kind of animated character, fantastic. I honestly want myself to be made as an animated character.
I really want to do another one, but it took a year. I want to do a lot more animated stuff. I love that medium. I think it looks absolutely fantastic.
It was great. I mean, I was a massive fan of like when Bed Shaped by Keen came out, like that style of animation.
Not that old, Ben. Sorry, dude. No, I don't know. What's the name of the song? Sorry.
Bed Shaped by Keen. And for those of my fans that may watch this later, you'll appreciate that. I know it's a great video.
Oh, that looks claymation looking.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, that's brilliant. Looks like a Tool video.
There was also a song that came out. I think it might have been Keaton Henson. It was called The Ribbon. It's the same sort of animation, but it was brilliant. It's all this eclectic music that I listen to. But yeah, that sort of animation, I'd love to do one like that. That'd be fantastic. So
yeah, that's fantastic. Well, yeah, it does take some. I'll tell you, it takes a bit of time, takes a bit of effort. It's mainly rendering time, but it's really cool if you can do it. It's something we want to explore a bit further. If we can on the album.
Who did your video?
And that was Doriana.
Well, send Dory my way.
Will do.
She'll say no.
Mark says, many apologies, but I have to leave your chat. But I wish everyone a very merry and happy Christmas. LHMR always. Well, thank you very much, Mark. Hope you have a great Christmas and a very happy New Year. We'll see you next year, bud. Right, Callum, have you got any organised questions for the evening, sir?
Organised questions.
Yes.
Let's talk about down. No, not really.
Metallica. I'm not doing it.
No, we can't. We can't. We probably did last time we had Ben on anyway. Even pre-download, we're probably shitting on Metallica then.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. We also had a lot of chat about download last time, where I was. Well, let's just put it this way: not ready, because download is a physical feat. And
man, you were the most ready you could be. Did you see your inflatable bed? It was as tall as a human being. It was insane.
I think I was the only person that turned up at download with an 8-man tent, a king size bed, and a king size duvet.
Oh, simply wasn't ready for the field, It's like he brought a house with him.
It wasn't the bed. I'm telling you now, it was the walk-in. Honestly, like walk here, walk there. I was
Luckily,
like,
you had a nice
brilliant.
big bed to lay on after you'd done all that walking.
I know. Then it was it was the after parties. It honestly was. That was what killed me. Going out. I've never moshed the hokey cokey so hard, and I'm still fuming that I lost my favorite hat. So
Oh, the hat. It's all right. You found more hats.
They were never as good, but yeah.
No, they weren't. They were covered in dust and they'd been trodden into the ground, dude. They weren't good at all.
It's safe to say I will not be going to download 2024 because I've realised I'm too old. So
to go for the RIP campaign.
I could go for the RIP, not VIP.
Yeah, they call it RIP.
Yeah, RIP.
Nice.
Although I also won't be going next year because the lineup sucks.
That's fair enough. To be honest, if I wanted to go to any festival next year, I would want to go to Glastonbury. So I think
that sounds more your thing.
Yeah, it does, and not being too far from Glastonbury as well. I'm sure I could find somewhere to stay. I've got friends in the area, so
Don't have to bring a mansion.
No, exactly. But to be honest, if if Michael Evers is watching, being the fact that he is related in some way to me, I could play a stage. Just let me know. I'll be there. I'll play for free. It's fine.
Doesn't even have to be main spot. It could be a support spot if you want.
Yeah, anything really. I don't mind playing outside the burger van on the entrance on the way in. Just anywhere would really do.
Oh man. In some way related, how far back are we going here?
Actually, he is my son's great uncle. And I still can't get a gig because that apparently isn't the way you get a gig at Glastonbury.
It sounds like an old, like the old English, like fabricating a claim.
Yeah.
To own a part of land. Be like, actually,
claim on that land.
So yeah, but if you do happen to see this, I'll come and play for free.
Yeah, he's very likely to watch this. Actually, he's one of our 5 viewers. So.
Play like the toilet stage or something.
Yeah. They do need it. I don't know what the Glastonbury setup's like actually.
Just in the middle of all the toilets. When you have to queue to see which toilets are being used. It's like a little stage in the middle.
Honestly, that's where you need a toilet attendant as well to sell you like perfume and give you some wipes and stuff. If you can set up a stall, I swear you can make a fortune.
So you guys out there can probably imagine how Ben fared at the Download Festival from just that statement alone.
You couldn't get a lollipop when you went to the toilet.
How am I going to go to the toilet without getting sprayed by £1 Armani? I don't understand. What are you drinking tonight, brother?
I'm on the odd whiskey tonight. What am I
Scotch.
on? I'm not sure which one it is, but I do like whiskey. So if there's any fans of mine out there and you want to send me a gift, I drink whiskey. And you can PM me from my address.
My PO box.
Exactly it.
Nice, dude.
Hey,
what we do need to do. Oh, go on.
I can't
be on table 15 in the moon in the
Spoons,
yeah.
honestly, like
frequent Wetherspoon.
it is nearly Christmas, so forgive me. I've had a drink. I mean,
Oh
that's
yeah,
the
dude.
excuse. That's the
I'm not
excuse
jealous.
this week.
I've got work tomorrow, and then that's it. So
Me too.
tomorrow,
Me too.
my tomorrow evening looks like what your current evening is looking like. I think.
You wouldn't want to see me tomorrow evening, trust me. This is tame, so that's fine.
My guy, I do want to see you tomorrow evening badly now. Hey, we should do something over Christmas though, man. I think we're gonna do. We'll announce it now, but I think we're gonna do a Christmas stream, but we're gonna do it on Thursday instead of Christmas,
because Christmas is on Monday.
Yeah.
And I'm not home.
And we normally stream on Monday, but we're not going to because we'll be busy.
Day.
I think I formulated that sentence all wrong. I'll be honest. But yeah.
I would. You're just going to get as many people as you can to stream on the Thursday. I mean, that'd be great. Wouldn't it? Just open in.
We were just going to do the four of us and do a bit of a catch up, but we might see if we have any randomers join in. We'll see. Haven't really decided or organised it yet. We're very last minute with these things.
I was thinking we could do like Jackbox party games or something.
I'm down for that.
It's easy to stream it and it's quite funny. And I have all of them.
I'm up for that. We also need to decide if we're going to do an end of year stream. I'd quite like to do an end of year stream. Chat about how good the year's been, really, and show off about what we've been up to.
I made a great thumbnail for it as well.
Oh yeah. I can send you a picture of me as a 15-year-old on stage with a bar humbug hat and arms thinner than your ankles. If you want it.
I've got a great Christmas hat.
Oh yeah.
I'm not revealing it until Thursday. I can't because it's.
We need to decide a rough dress code for Thursday.
We're a Christmas jumper and a Christmas hat.
I've lost my Christmas jumper.
Have you not got the Yu-Gi-Oh one? Did you buy that one?
No, it was
what?
like 40. It was 40 quid, dude.
How much a jumper costs?
Since when?
I don't know. Since forever. You ever been? Could get Queens of Stone Age one. They're only like 120 quid.
Ben, have you got a Christmas jumper?
Yeah. Fender Christmas one, yeah. It's good. It looks good. I love it. I wore it last year. Once you've got one, you can just, as long as you don't overeat.
I do have one. Or I did. I've lost it. I have a Pink Floyd one that's like a Christmas tree with the 3 triangles of the Dark Side of the Moon logo. So,
nice.
Oh.
I did see a really cool Lord of the Rings one the other day. I thought about buying.
You're a big Lord of the Rings fan. Then.
Yep, I am. Geek Squad.
We did the marathon recently in the cinema. It was one of the best days of my life.
I've got that coming up actually in about a week's time for a friend's birthday. We have got a theatre, the one in Shaftesbury that you came and saw. In there, we're going to be celebrating his birthday whilst watching the Lord of the Rings marathon and also cooking the accompaniments that go with it. So there will be breakfast, second breakfast,
potatoes.
Oh my god, dude!
So yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah. Give it to us more and wiggling.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That'd be great.
Mate, that sounds.
Are you doing the extended editions?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes. You've gone up in my estimation this evening.
Are you going to have Owen's stew as well?
Oh,
maybe.
I have to have Owen's stew.
Yeah,
you have to all spit it out. I'll try to.
That's the best addition to the extended edition, I think.
Yeah, I'm so glad they set up that whole scene for that. they travelled to New Zealand and just found a fucking mountainside to film that.
Vigo, you have to drink this. Did you know in that scene, Viggo Mortensen actually didn't like the stew?
I do hope you'll harmonise it when you tell each other about his toe.
There's a lot
who doesn't like Lord of the Rings. Grow up.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. Lord of the Rings is amazing. Though. They won't make a trilogy as good as that ever again, I don't think.
No, they won't. They were on about making the other side of that, weren't they? Which was the books that Tolkien did, and I just don't think that it's going to have any kind of light
Uh,
on Lord of the Rings.
My problem right now is that I don't trust Hollywood to make anything. They keep fucking everything up. I looked at the Disney stocks, for example. That's gone through the floor. Disney being they own over 25% of the entertainment industry, by the way. Disney are that big that they're essentially a monopoly at this point, and they've had one film this year that made a profit. Rough, buddy. That's a bad year.
A bit funny, cozy living.
No, it's just bad films, man. If people are interested in something, they'll go see it. They will. It's just that there aren't any good films. I mean, what have they had? The Marvels. That's who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen like 50 other things for that now.
I was mad hyped for Miss Marvel, like the TV series, and then they didn't. I didn't like the character. I got really
I don't
upset.
think Miss Marvel as a comic did well, did it?
It was alright.
I thought it was like one of those self-inserts.
It kind of is. They're kind of cool though, and funny.
Yeah.
And it's just cringe. Like they're funny cringe in the comics, but it doesn't translate. It didn't translate to like TV at all. It was it was
comes
quite
across as sarcastic, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't think they've got the right creators at the moment because there are. What did I?
Well, they've had
mean,
writer strikes as well, though, haven't they? So there's a lot of things that
they're cutting the fat with that. They're cutting the fat with that for sure. They don't need all those writers, dude. They've just passed a new rule where they need like 10 writers in a room or something. That's insane. What for?
To write.
Yeah, but
it's all right.
Again, going back to Tolkien, one writer. It needs cohesion, doesn't it? I think that's the problem that they're going to face. Is that that's actually that translates really well to music. I think. Ben, have you been writing with a band at all, or have you been writing solo and then applying it to a band?
Writing solo and applying it to a band.
I think that's the better way to go on that front. It is hard when
I agree.
Yeah, you need to be able to at least have something that they can then take and do their own thing with, right?
Well, this is the same though. It's the reason they took like Tolkien's books and they've taken all these people's books and stuff like that and adapted them to film because it's one person, it's one story. And yes, okay, you've got different producers and stuff, but then it's just trying to keep that one image. And I think that's a lot easier than going, there's 10 people, we've got all 10 different points of view and going, and that similarly goes back to a band, it's just why similarly as a band you might create music, but there's only one person that tends to create the story or the lyrical journey that you go on, because it's hard when you involve other people to try and create that story. I've done it. At the moment, I'm also working with some other musicians in a side project, which goes back to Seek and Benjamin, which is where I was before. It's developed now into a rock band, and we're working together as a team to write stuff. But actually, fundamentally,
different animal, that isn't it?
It is, yeah. And I feel for you guys. The band create the music, and then I don't know, Simon, if it's just you that writes the lyrics, but it's a lot easier.
We've got quite an interesting way of writing those. So. Because it's very varied. A lot of the time it'll be just off the smallest thing, or I'll have a concept or a theme that we write to, or Stevie will have a riff that we write to, or we'll just jam something in rehearsal that sounds sick and it will become a song. But a lot of the time, that then requires us to go away to either one or two of us to demo that down into a place where it becomes something cohesive and actually becomes a song. And then we present it to the other guys and say, right, what changes do we make? Basically, do we make changes? Are you happy with this? I think really the ideal situation for writing is that someone has a spark and an idea that gets put into somewhat a structure of a song, and then we chisel at it together. Like someone's doing the line drawing and then we're all painting it, but it requires that line drawing for it to make sense in the first place. And it does help for that to be a little bit less interrupted, I think. Something we found very early on in the writing process is opinions coming in too early on something that's just forming. You need to be able to form the full opinion yourself and the full thing anyway in your head. Like most ideas are half baked. You need to be able to cook it. So when it comes to actually getting a song down, once it's cooked up in how I, for example, would hear it in my head, that's when I'll take it to the band. I'll be like, right, now this is what I think sounds good. How do we bring this into our sort of band environment and make that into a song that would be a regional one song?
Yeah.
It's very different to like writing something solo and then adding instrumentation around it. We have sort of done that before, but
In all fairness, like I completely understand that, and and writing that way is, you've got the cookie dough, let's make some brownies, and and it is that kind of, not those type of brownies. I know what you're thinking. And or maybe those type of brownies. I mean, if you enjoy that sort of thing, then that's up to you. But even I'll take a song and I'll take it into a producer, and I'm learning to kind of let go, because these people know their craft, they know their trade, and if they go, actually, this isn't going to work, and that sounds great and stuff, and it's kind of taking those influences and those advice and the people that work around you to make something that is great. And if it's like, oh, maybe cut that line, or this is too long, or the melody quite hit, doesn't quite work, you take those things and it changes, but that might make you change a line or two in a song that you've written. And I think fundamentally, if you've got the message across of what you want to say in a song, then that's okay. And sometimes the lyrics will change, and sometimes that's because the end of a phrasing might need to change, or it doesn't fit in within the melody. And that's important, because at the end of the day, the end user or the end listener to that song wants something that they can sing along to, and not to make it sound simplistic, but they want something that's catchy. And if your melody doesn't quite work because you're trying to get out a string of words that means something, sometimes you just have to strip that back. And I've learned a lot, and for the people that I work with, and I have been very, very lucky to work with these people, and they'll go, actually, like, change that and do this, and the message is still there, and people will get it more, because it's, it might be, actually, let's change the hook here. And the hook is the thing that people, our song, which was the song that I performed last at the EP launch that you came to see, people love that song, and the reason they love that is because it's so simplistic, that they can sing along to it, and that's it, and that's really it. And as much as the song has a lot of meaning, and it's about a summer romance and about about a journey, the key there really was just to get something that is an earworm, and to go, okay, our song, and that's it. And that's why loads of people kind of really got that in their heads. And that's why I think, when I played that gig, I ended on that song, because I knew it was something that people would be able to keep doing. And it was just, so
it was also it felt like the right song in terms of bringing everyone together at the end as well. It felt like a natural conclusion, quite a nice sort of crescendo to end the set on, actually.
Yeah, it did. And and I think that's important too, when writing sets, whether you're writing lyrics, whether you're writing a song or writing sex, all of it is something that you need to kind of put from a start to kind of finish journey. And that's something I'm really learning about. I used to come and play with you guys when I was doing a set, and I'd go, what do people want to hear? And actually, sometimes that is important, but it's also important to kind of go, well, I'm going to take you myself. I'm going to bring you into my world, and I'm going to start off with a big banger, and then I'm going to bring you down a little bit, and then, maybe like do a little bit of something different, and then, end on something that you can kind of feel like you can get into the groove of. And then you leave them kind of, like you guys do a lot, leave them wanting more, and for me, learning my craft, I mean, that's been really important to me. In fact, gigging with you guys and the musicians that you've gigged with has been absolutely fundamentally important to me this year, because it's really, really changed the way I've looked at writing a set. Because before, I just go, this starts on a G. The next song I'll play, that'll probably start on a G.
Yeah.
But honestly, but for watching these guys, and I'll give you, Regional One as a big up. Honestly, watching these guys is not just going to see a gig. It is going to see a performance. It is going to see a show. I've been there when Simon has been trying to change in and out of his straitjacket, him panicking whether he has really got enough time. And it's great, and that's the sort of thing you really need to put in to make yourself memorable. And I think you guys do that really, really, really well.
Man, I think you touched on some interesting stuff there, because set construction is really something a lot of I know certainly a lot of the younger artists we've played with, and the guys who are sort of just starting out as well, don't really think about too much. They're thinking more about the practical element. Whereas I think what draws people into a live show is really the artistry that comes from that unique blend of people, or that unique individual. So when you're creating a set, you're putting it in the order you'd want to hear it, or you believe is the, I guess, the right way in terms of theatrics, right? So you can move through different moods. We've done a few different sets now we've tested out this year that I think were quite interesting, where we do our kind of darker stuff to open up the set. We'll get into a softer, more emotional area. Then we'll get into like the kind of cheeky, fucky, fun stuff, and then I try and get it so that kind of cheeky, fun stuff devolves into a little bit insanity. So you go through, for example, we'll go from Smoke It Away into Louder, which is like, I guess, like hornier and more drunker.
Yeah.
For lack of a better phrase there. And then you'll move through that into Addicted to Chaos, which is kind of almost the come down from getting drunk. And then Addicted to Chaos moves into me what feels quite naturally into Bedlam, which is like Addicted to Chaos a little bit on steroids in a way, in terms of the message of it and everything. And then after all that, I like to try and remind people at the end, don't forget this is a performance. Thank you guys so much. And then we end on something like Hero, or we could do Rise or Sold or something like that. Just to remind people that after all that, after the sort of story we've told, I think it's really important to then bring it back home and remind people why we're all there together to have that moment. I think it was Rammstein that kind of inspired that a bit. Because I saw them, and they're batshit mental live, obviously. They do all these crazy theatrical things. They're like whipping their keyboard, they've got giant dildos that piss into the crowd, all sorts of wild stuff, most insane pyrotechnics, fireworks everywhere. Then right at the end, they'd have like a come-off song, and they'd come over and they'd just be like, oh, thank you guys for checking out what we do. They'd give a bow and they'd leave. And I was like, oh, that really brings it home at the end. Because otherwise, these are just insane people doing an insane thing. But then they remind you at the end that they're just also, it's something they've created that they want to share with you. And I think it's really easy to run away from that. Mm.
And it's art, and it's a show, and that's exactly it. And that's why people will go back and see Rammstein again and again and again. You know, and because I think there's a lot to be said. You can go and watch a singer-songwriter like myself, and I think, you know, I definitely felt the freedom when I was playing with a band, because normally I just stand behind a guitar, and you know, and it's very, very kind of in one place, and it's hard to put on a performance. I mean, you know, other artists will disagree with that. You know, you've got the likes of Ed Sheeran and such, but in fact, for me, the most freedom I had was not having a guitar in front of me, and it was, I'm not gonna lie, it was the scariest thing, you know, not having a shield.
There's nothing to hide behind up front, dude.
and but to have that, and then pick up the microphone, and then have that freedom of movement, was something that was great. And I really wanted to kind of show that off on that gig that I played, because it was the first time I've ever done that live. And it's something that I really want to do again, because it kind of gave me inspiration to write in a different way, and actually, and to perform in a different way, because, you know, I've seen you guys play, and watching you perform is definitely, you know, inspired me over the last, you know, couple of years now that we've been hanging out. And it's just, just to be able to tell a story in a different way, and to be able to put some acting into it, and creating that art, and that's fantastic, you know. And then you've got the likes of Callum, who just sits on his bass and nods up and down.
He's all heady. Callum, I will say, actually, when Callum first started in the band, he was quite sort of quiet on stage, and he was a bit reserved. But I've noticed more and more how much fucking Callum's been moving around and doing. I mean, I walk into him half the time, so I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, mate."
It's hard not to, especially when me and Stevie swap sides, because then my headstock is just in your face. Like,
your headstock's a weapon, dude.
Yeah.
I've nearly sculled that thing. I reckon probably nearly every show, actually. The problem is we've got quite big personalities on stage now, and then we get on these big stages every now and then, and we get fucking nuts. And then we get back on a smaller stage and forget that we need to tone it down. It's so hard to fucking not want to carry that energy forward. But what you're saying about the freedom of not having your guitar is a massive thing. I started off on drums, actually, and I was I did these few shows back when Mr. Kipps was a thing in Poole, did a few workshops and things where I did like a few songs where it's drumming and singing at the same time. And I feel like I'm quite a good performer as a drummer. I enjoy drumming, I love drumming. But I was writing a lot of lyrics, and we couldn't really find a singer, so I moved on to vocals, and I was like, oh, I can run around now. Then the only natural progression from that was the wireless microphone. Now, I tell you, that will change your life if you end up with a wireless microphone, dude. You won't be able to stand still.
I know. To be honest, that's one of the things I think I'll invest in in 2024 is a wireless microphone, and to be honest, I need to find some musicians to back me up. I'm working on it right now for the Ben Francis stuff. But yeah, I mean, I see with that wireless microphone, I'm just thinking to myself, oh my god, like literally, you could just run around the room.
It's so much fun, and in-ears as well, life-changing equipment. That
Yeah.
Going from a technical standpoint, for those watching, if anyone's on stage and you're a singer, get some in-ears, dude. Just do it. Save up those pennies. It will change the way you perform. You will be so much more self-critical for about 4 months, and then you'll be just wired on it. So good.
But to be fair, I feel like with in-ears, you do perform better, but you can hear yourself more. I was just looking at my drawer in front of me now, next to me on the computer, but they're normally sat in this drawer, but unfortunately they're not. I must have put them in the last gig box, which means I haven't unpacked from that last gig. So, but yeah, no, it is. They make a big difference, especially when you're playing with other big musicians. Like I was temporarily, I was in a Bond band, and we were all kind of working with like brass.
I see you with Bond.
Yeah, and honestly, I'd be more of
You're way too nice to be a Bond dude.
I reckon I'd be a criminal. I reckon if I was, I'd be a Bond villain more than I would be a Bond, or an extra. I'd be an extra. But when I was working in the Bond band, I could be the
Bond girl. My chair creaked in agreement.
But yeah, I was playing with this brass section, and without in-ear monitors, you were screwed because they're so loud. Yeah. And I was covering at the time, You Know My Name, which was by that guy,
Chris Cornell.
Yep, that's the one. Well done. Look at that quiz question in. Well done. Him.
Is it him? You Know My Name?
Yes, Chris Cornell. Yeah, You Know My Name, Chris Cornell. Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's a great song as well.
Yeah, and so, but to do that with a band as well, I played like 6 or 7 other songs as well, which escape me now because I'm empty. But yeah, no, it's great. And in-ear monitors is something you'll get used to using, and they are. And as Simon will probably agree with me that as a singer, in-ear monitors you rely on what you hear in your ear when you are singing, and if you cannot hear yourself correctly, you can be off key, out of tune, and whatever. And so that's the real importance. I remember playing the gig in Chaplin's with a band called Soul Hole, who you guys know, and the guy that was doing the sound was fantastic, but it was only halfway through the set I could actually hear what I was singing, and just once I could hear through the monitor what I was singing, that set improved like that. And that changed the whole atmosphere of the room.
It gives you
as well.
Tone control, pitch control, gives you confidence. It's everything.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know about you, I do have a bit of a struggle though. I'm constantly at war over wanting to hear what the audience hears and hear what I'm hearing. So I've got a bit of a bad discipline when it comes to in-ears sometimes. It depends on the venue. On bigger stages, I'm much better keeping the in-ears in because everything's a lot clearer. There's a lot more space to move around and whatnot. And that just frees up what I can hear. But smaller venues, I'm very bad at sometimes taking out an earplug and wandering into the audience and having a bit of fun there. So yeah, it's a tough balance, but it is one of those things worth getting used to. Obviously, it protects your hearing. Key thing. If our ears are going to be our income in the future, we should probably look after them.
Which you've mentioned to me a few times. So I will be bringing some ear defenders to more of our gigs, or at least some earplugs. So
absolutely.
Yeah. If you ever go and watch Regional 1 somewhere like just perhaps the Anvil in Bournemouth, definitely take earplugs because if not, it will kill you. So
in a pleasurable way.
In a pleasurable way.
It's loud.
It's like I just died. Like an orgasm, that sort of thing.
Deathgasm.
So yeah.
Why not? Yeah, man. Now that's also coming around to that. We were sort of touching on the idea that obviously as a singer you need to hear yourself. It was a really strange transition going from I guess what I would consider the most physical and visual instrument. Like drums, you can see what you're going to hit and you can almost see the pitches, right? You know that tom is going to stay at that tune throughout the whole gig. That's it. If I hit that, it makes that sound. That's it. Going from that to completely like a metaphysical, I can't see my voice. I can't see the instrument. I can't move it. I can't touch it. it's just on the inside somewhere, and I've got to make it come out there somehow. That was a weird transition. That it's like two ends of the spectrum. Very strange.
I often imagine myself singing a little bit like SingStar. So if I if I know, it's really weird, and I do imagine myself singing. I'm like, I've got to be up here for this
like
bit.
Guitar Hero World Tour. You helped me a bit there.
Yeah, exactly it. And I do imagine myself, and it does help, you know. I think it takes away a little bit from the nervousness because I'm too busy trying to figure out what level I'm on and what score I'm going to get at the end.
And you can kind of use that as a fallback as well. I mean, personally, I find the best singing I do is when I'm really, really immersed in the song. So the more I get into the song, the more I'm performing, the better the singing will be. And it won't necessarily be that the notes are clear or anything like that. I just know that I'll throw my tones around a bit more and have a bit more fun and embody the song better. We had a show recently, our last show of the year over in Yeovil. And that was a case where, like, unfortunately, the PA wasn't very good. It was just, we're having a lot of issues with the sound there. Engineer was doing a great job. Everything was fine on that end, but the PA itself was fairly old PA. It was just having a rough time of it. And I couldn't hear bugger all in the ears because there were so many different things bouncing around the room on the PA player. And I just thought, nah, sod it, take them out. And I did find then I'd get really, really into Bedlam, for example. That was real fun. I was like proper like crawling around on the floor and all sorts. And I was trying out things I wouldn't normally try, just purely out of, I guess, just feeling the song and embodying the song at the time. And I think some of the things there I'm probably going to try and take on to sets in the new year, because I really enjoyed some sounds that I made that I wouldn't necessarily have made without having that happen. So there is something to it, you know.
I do think that's great. I think you play a couple of gigs sometimes, and maybe the audience is as big as you're normally used to, or maybe you've had a few drinks too many before you've got on stage. So you go, no, I'm going to try this, and then it happens, and you go, actually, that wasn't half bad, and I think I'll probably use that again. And I think that's fantastic. You know, I've done that several times. I've doubted myself before, normally due to kind of nervousness and things like that, and I've gone and played a gig, and I guess, you know, vocally, I think, I could have just improved this. And then sometimes I've gone out and I've had a few beforehand, and I'll get on stage and go, you know what, let's just go for this. And I do it, and then I go, yeah, that sounded great. Let's do that again. Nice, well done. So yeah, you know, and then you just carry on, and you know, that's something I guess I'm going to have to do next year when I'll be performing a lot more with, you know, either a band or, you know, I'll still be doing some solo shows and things like that. In fact, I'll be looking to put my 2024 gig list together over the next couple of weeks, and see where I'm going to be starting off and where I'm going to be. I'm going to hopefully do a bit more in Bournemouth next year. I'm going to do a bit more in Bristol as well. And then I'm going to see if I can break into Southampton. Not literally, it's a place you can break into it, but, you know, get a gig there, that'd be great. And then a couple up in London as well. So, you know, there'd be a nice area to do. So yeah, that's kind of the plan for 2024.
Yeah, man, we've got a few places we'd like to bring you as well, possibly, if you're doing an opening set, just one of the more chilled ones. Done. Ilfracombe with us yet?
Yeah, down by the beach.
Yeah, man, we got a few of those coming up. So they're the kind of places where small crowd, but they're dedicated.
Yeah, exactly. And those are the sort of people, you know. I'm lucky. I've been building quite a good following recently. So a few people that may see this or may not. I mean, looking at the followers, you know, who's watching right now. But if you go back and watch this, do give me a shout, give me a personal message, and let me know where the hell you're from, because I know that, you know, it's important to come and see you guys. And you know, whether that means I'll come and do one show up north, forbid. It was chilly up there, so I'll do it. Aye. So yeah, I want to get up to Edinburgh Fringe next year as well, and do a little bit. I think, you know, just trying to do a couple of those shows and getting a couple of those spots in will do me the world of good. So yeah, be good. I'm looking forward to 2024. I bet you boys are as well.
Yeah, man, can't wait. We've got a lot planned and a lot that's already in the works that I can't. Well, we're looking to break into the Midlands and the North a bit as well, so we'll be expanding from the southwest. We're going to move further west. We're going to move up north from here as well. Probably get a few more in London. Honestly, London is a weird. I treat it as it's a weird place. I treat it as a different country almost when it comes to gigs. It's a whole different ecosystem when it comes to playing shows, selling tickets. It's a very strange place, but it is a necessity for musicians, I think, sadly. I personally hate it. I hate paying the ULEZ charge. I hate the traffic. I hate the smell. But the crowds are so much fun, and the people there are always seemingly up for a good night. So the people make it so worth it. It's just a shame that the place itself seems to be wrecked, to put it lightly.
But I'm afraid, Simon, London is calling.
London's calling. Ministry. Couldn't work it into a better reference than that.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's about time to wrap it up and bid adieu for our Christmas session. And then I guess I'll catch up with you when you guys are ready next. So
Hell yeah, dude. So tell people where they can find you and what you've got coming up that you're allowed to tell them.
I'm allowed to tell you, right? You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Amazon Music, just at Ben Francis HQ on most sites, Instagram, TikTok, blah 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 blah. Hence why just find me as Ben Francis on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, wherever. Just come find me and listen. That's what I've got going on. Next year I'll be bringing out a new EP. Right now I've got Foundations out and a new Christmas single. So enjoy that. And I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. And
guys, go check Ben out. Check out Foundations. So good. Fantastic. I've got a physical copy over on that shelf that you can't see in the dark. But it is there. It's fantastic, man. Like, I think you're one of my favorite musicians to play with, dude. Every time we play a gig, we have a great fucking time. Crowd loves it. Your voice is crystal clear. It's so good. So let's do more shit next year, man. Let's make sure it's a good one.
Let's go and do it.
Do shit.
Awesome.
Love you guys.
Well, thank you everyone for watching. If you're watching from the future, cheers from the past. We'll see you this Thursday. We're going to do our Christmas special stream. Going to close out the year with probably a few drinks, as I won't be working the Friday, so I'm gonna have a few drinks. I'm gonna have a few Jack Daniels, and I think it's going to be one. I'm not sure if it's just the band or not, but if it is just the band, we'll be having some drinks, chatting shit about the year and what we got coming up, and chatting shit, mainly chatting shit. Yeah, this should be fun. Maybe play some games too.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you guys so much. Check out Ben. He's amazing. Check us out if you haven't yet. We're Regional One. Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.